Hello, hello, it's Kev here. Time for a video. So, another letter from OET. First things first, copyright, disclaimer, put that on, copyright, fair use, blah, 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 you know the score. So, I don't want any complaints. And we're looking at Sarah Day. Now, in my previous videos, I did two yesterday. I don't know if you've seen them. One of my group members in my Telegram group, Prepare OET, links below if you want to join, sent a letter, and I went through the criteria, talked about that, gave some samples in video 2. Okay, so they sent me another letter today. So we'll see if they took note of anything that I said. Now, case notes, so go to the task first, as always, audience and purpose. Now, I'm not going to go through the criteria again because I did it in 2 videos yesterday, so I'm not going to bother doing it again. So we have to write to Dr. Edwards, a neurologist. So anything not concerned with neurology, that's the content part. Well, content and conciseness and clarity. So we want the neurology stuff. Anything that's outside of that field, we don't want it. Okay, that's the audience and purpose. So we have to outline the relevant history, as it says, right? Relevant, not all, just that which pertains to the neurology aspect, and request further investigations and management. Okay, so that's what you do first, and I have said many times, we've got task first, audience and purpose. So that's pretty clear. Neurology, yeah, anything not connected with that, we don't want to know. Okay? And what's the verb here? Request. So I'm writing to request further investigations and management of Miss Day, a 21-year-old student whose signs and symptoms are suggestive of blah, 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 blah. And then at the bottom, as I said yesterday, you restate the purpose in detail. So what you do, go through your notes with your pen and say, tick, 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 yes, 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 have to include those, no, 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 no. Don't need those. Maybe secondary importance, put a 2. So that's what you've got to do, right? So there's a lot of stuff here. We don't need this. Alright, we don't need this, we don't need this. She's not happy. Well, join the club. Who is happy? Part-time job, and so and so, so and so. Okay. Now, the key thing here, if you look at the case notes, is this, right at the end, whiplash injury. So if you think about that, then most of this other stuff is irrelevant. Quite possibly, I'm not an expert of course, but I would say the whiplash could well be the cause of many of her symptoms. So keep that in mind. So there's a lot of stats, the case notes often had this in it, like there was that one about the woman who took the unidentified Chinese herb, and that's what caused her reflux symptoms, And if you'd have missed that, you would have missed the whole kind of point of the exercise, So there was that thing there. The physiotherapy one, which I've done before, lots of people miss the fact that they wouldn't actually be seeing the patient because it was a request for workplace assessment. So often there's going to be something that you might miss. So kind of here, the whiplash, probably a neurologist would be thinking, maybe that could be a reason for her condition. Well, we'll see. We'll take a look. So I do have some samples. I don't think I'll bother to show them unless you really want me to. But we're just going to take a look at this letter today. So, thank you for seeing Miss Day at 21. No, sorry, right now. Conciseness and clarity. How do you present this information? How do you write this? So you can usually do name, age, occupation. Okay, so we can guess it. She's a woman. Okay, if you want to put that, 21-year-old university student. You don't need to spell it out. Requires urgent evaluation. Now, did it say urgent? Did it say urgent? Doesn't say that. Doesn't say urgent. Neurologist, front history. No. So now the reason why I make this particular point is that we've got different themes for our letters, and usually if it's urgent, then you put today's visit for paragraph 2. All right, that's what OET.com in the Ultimate Writing Guide, which I keep recommending that you go and download. That's what it says. So if it's urgent, today's visit will be paragraph 2, but it doesn't say that. So I wouldn't add anything that is not in the note. So it doesn't actually say urgent for symptoms. Now, I probably wouldn't put all this. Now, I certainly wouldn't put that there, right? This greatly, now, right, your expertise, well, obviously he's an expert. What? So, your amateur investigation, so we don't really need that. If you have to appreciate, if you look at all the samples, you usually put it at the bottom. You don't have to put it at the top. Now, this purpose needs to be extended, as I showed you in yesterday's video. In both of them, I think we looked at the criteria, and it says you need to expand the purpose, usually at the bottom, right? So you put more details in at the bottom. So you don't need all these details in the purpose. You don't need those. What you do need to do is to put them instead, as the criteria says. It's not my opinion, they need to be here. Right? You need to expand that purpose. Okay, so such as for symptoms, paresthesia in figures 4 to 5 of the left hand, suggestive of whiplash injury in a car accident in June 2018. So again, you don't need this level of detail. And thank you for seeing. Oh, you can say that, or you can simply do I'm writing to request. Make it more direct and to the point. I'm writing to request your evaluation and management of name, age, occupation, who symptoms are, and then you extend that to the bottom. So, initially presented. So, you usually put a date. Alright? So, give us a date. When did she present? How long has this condition been ongoing? I have no idea. I'd like to know as a neurologist. So, always make sure there's some reference to time. On the 27th of April, on 2025, Mrs. or 2023, Miss Day presented. All right, give us some time. Okay, disturbances. Right now, that shouldn't be there. Lasting 1 to 2 days with no family history of headache or migraine. What's that got to do with how long her pain lasted? So I wouldn't put that there. If you're going to put a history, put that for paragraph 2. Right? Regarding Miss Day's medical history, she's at so-and-so, no family history, so you would put that there in a separate paragraph, right? They don't like you mixing themes up. It's got to have a logic. So if this is a chronology, okay, then we need to know when the first incident occurred, when the presentation occurred. I wouldn't put that there. I'd put it now. if you're not going to have a history paragraph as such, you can put that somewhere later on. You know, please, you know, please note there's no family history of, you know. If you want to include it, you put that lower in the letter, or you'd have a history for paragraph 2. Okay, and then you can do a chronology. Now, you don't really need to put all 3 visits. If you saw the video I did yesterday, two videos. I can't really remember if it was video 1 or 2, but probably 2, yeah. So in that one, I showed how you can make it concise. You know, Miss Day has presented on 3 separate occasions in the last year with symptoms of so-and-so, so-and-so, for which she was given, you know, you can do that. Okay. So initially presented, we don't know when, move that. She was asked to rest, asked, would you please rest, Miss Patient? And so, rest was advised, right? So, rest was advised and so she was asked to rest and what? Medication is not a verb, right? So, parallel structure, your conjunction, you need a verb. If it's a verb on one side, you need a verb on the opposite side. That's parallel structure. So she was asked to rest and medication was given, was prescribed. You need to have something here, though I would probably not do it in that way because for parallel structure, you know. So rest was advised and metoclopramide and paracetamol was prescribed. That would be parallel structure. Okay? So rest was advised and metoclopramide and paracetamol was prescribed. So that would be parallel structure. All right? Rest was advised, conjunction was prescribed. Okay? Now you always usually put the name and then pronouns later. Presented with increased frequency of attack 1 month later. Additionally, her anxiety worsened. Well, if it's 1 month later, should be past perfect. If you're comparing a simple past with a secondary past event, you need past perfect. All right? Additionally, her anxiety had worsened, for which she was given, so. Okay. Miss Day's condition had deteriorated. Again, now, do we really need, so we've got 1 visit, we've got 2 visits, this is 3 visits. And then she recently, so when was that? Was that today? She presented alone, as in by herself. But you never mentioned any other situation where she didn't present alone. Now, in the case notes, I think she came with her mother. At first, she came with her mother, and her mother came. Yeah, so she came with her mother on the first 3 occasions, but you didn't say that. So when I see this presented alone, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. You know, because you haven't said any indication that she was not alone on her previous visits. So, you know, so it's like presented alone. Okay, but I'm confused now. So, right, as I keep saying, you know, your letter should be entirely logical and self-contained. If the reader has to ask any questions, then it hasn't worked. It's when I don't have to ask any questions that it has worked. So when you say presented alone, the reader obviously thinks, well, so does that mean she wasn't alone on the previous visit? But why would that be important? Yeah. So why exactly would this fact that today she presented alone was important? Well, if you look at the case notes, it seems like her mother was a bit over anxious, and didn't it say something about she's not happy about? Yeah, she didn't want to mention something. Right. So she had a car accident, so presumably she didn't want her mother to accompany her, so she wouldn't find this out. So that would be why she presented alone. But if you don't tell me that, I'm wondering, what's the significance of being alone? What does that actually mean? Okay, so you can see, I hope, what I'm trying to get at here. So, a visit, make that passive, presented, past perfect, had worsened, condition deteriorated, so either had deteriorated again or continued to deteriorate. Alright, so again, 1 month later, her condition had deteriorated or had continued. Oops. Now a sec, let me just put on my spectacles. I can't bloody see it. Had continued to deteriorate. Okay, so we can do that. 1 month. So past perfect. Again, because it's a particular event in the past and it's connected to the previous ones. Okay, past perfect. If you were writing today, it would be present perfect, connecting past and present, because the visit presumably occurred earlier in the day and you're writing your letter later. But anyway, past perfect. Had continued to do it 1 month later when she started having panic attacks, gaining weight, withdrawn. So, right. Parallel verbs, having, gaining, withdrawing. It's got to match. From household, from the household. Withdrawing from household. You mean, what's it actually say? So she's housebound. So she's not withdrawing from the house. She's not going out of the house. Apparently, according to the notes. So she's afraid to leave the house. Now she says that she's housebound, so she's not going out. So that's a different thing. Withdrawing from outdoor activities. That's what she's withdrawing from going out. She's not withdrawing from the household. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's becoming housebound. So, hang on. Well, I didn't see that. Usual activities. Withdrawing from... No, okay, outdoor activities. Anything interesting in usual routine, say, maybe change that. So I'm not saying activities. Anyway, something such as that. But anyway, you get the point. She's not withdrawing from the household. In fact, she's embracing it because she's housebound. She's not going outside. Possible and depression for which she was given amitriptyline, 25 megagrams. Right. Recently when? Was it today? Now, this should be the final visit, so it should be today, yeah? So the final visit, yeah, well, 24th of Feb, so today. Okay, so today, this day presented alone. Now, without you previously telling me that she wasn't alone before, it doesn't make a lot of sense, yeah? Alone? Who did she come with? Was it her mother, her father, a boyfriend, a troupe of circus acrobats? Who did she come with? I've no idea. There's alone complaining of, and complained of, or complaining of no tingling sensation in fingers, thumb 5 of the left hand, which occurred after cat action, which might be a cause of whiplash injury. If you both, it would be appreciated if you could assess Mr. condition, treat her accordingly. Please don't hesitate to contact blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's better than the previous one, but still there's quite a lot to have a look at. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to say anything more for today. I'll just leave that where it is, and if you've got any questions, you can contact me. Links below. You can join my group on Telegram or contact me directly. Okay, hope that helps.